The lock can't be too far ahead!
The way that priest tripped all of your protective runes, it's almost like they're working against you, Relassi.
No! Get him!
Relassi, who's your friend? Are you ever going to introduce us?
Quit running away, and I'll do more than that! I know that fetcher's here somewhere. Let's see if we can draw him out.
And the talisman is mine! You know, if you leave
Nobody saw
where
me.
it is, the high priest
How could the Lark have known? He has the talisman. The real talisman. I made a replica of the original. Switched it out without the High Priest knowing. Then, I hid the real one down here to keep it safe. The High Priest refused my order to take the relic off display. He thinks it's safe, as long as he's watching it. But the Lark could steal stripes off a cat. If I couldn't stop his heist, I thought I could at least trick him into taking a replica. That arrogant swit! And if that foolish priest hadn't prematurely set off my runes, I'd have clipped the Lark's wings and had him dead to rights! Tell me this isn't over. Tell me you found something useful. Something at the Khajiit camp, maybe. A story. Great. What reason would this elder have to visit the... Wait. Did you read this? His legend says the relic holds this eye of Bandar. Fetch it all! I need you to get back to the camp quickly, before the High Priest intervenes. Keep an eye on that elder. If he's really involved, he may not know the danger he's put himself in. Believe me, even if only one of the Khajiit is conspiring with the Lark, the High Priest will make sure the entire caravan suffers for it. Go ahead. I'll meet up with you soon.
Walker, help. Please. They're still alive in the ruins. Walker, please. Save my family. Shadea kept pushing to leave. Elir Sudro insisted we stay. And then he told her everything. The relic, the thief, secrets we swore to keep. He spoke on the ice value to the Bandari, but she heard only the promise of coin. Took them to the ruins. The relic is the price of their lives. Too late for me, Walker. Please, find the Lark. Save the others.
Everything went off without a... Wait. Where is everyone? What happened here? Did you do this? I knew Relasi was desperate to get me, but I never thought she'd order something like this. Shadea? Why did he tell her? That old cat is too quick to assume the good in everyone. And perhaps I'm about to make the same mistake, but I'll ask it plainly. Can I count on your help in rescuing my client and his family or not? You think the Bandari are paying me? They could barely afford to pay their mercenaries. The Lark of Rosgard never leaves a job unfinished. Simple as that. Stealing is so inelegant a word for what I do. I prefer to think of it as reacquisition. And the simple answer is that some things are much better earned than bought. Trust, for example. If I give you the talisman, will I have earned yours? When we get to the ruins, I need you to barter with Shadea. Do whatever you can to keep her occupied with the talisman. While you do that, I'll do what I do best. It's a gamble, but I think we can pull it off. I'll meet you at the ruins. Remember to keep Shadea talking as long as possible.
Walker, come no closer or this one will bleed out the Elder. Where is the thief?
Shadea, please. This one is sure that Walker means no harm. We can talk through this, yes?
You should have kept your nose to yourself, Walker. This does not concern you. What? Where did you... It does not matter. Give it to Shaddea, now! With so many hands grasping for it, someone must pay well for it, yes? Shaddea is losing patience. Toss it over now! What was that? No! Curse you, thief! No! You will pay for this, Walker! Surrender the talisman or the others die!
Please, Walker. Save this one's family. Give her the talisman if you must.
That's Velocity. Follow my lead and play along.
Stop right there!
You've tricked me out of the talisman, but you'll never catch me alive!
My thanks, Walker.
This one shall pay your favor forward.
Oh, good. I was starting to get worried. The others just passed me. They're safe. Now, all that remains is to decide the fate of the Talisman of St. Voorhis. She wouldn't. The only person Relassi wants to suffer for this crime is me. And she still needs to catch me. Besides, if the High Priest knew about her little stunt with the replica talisman, she'd be finished. We've got that we can hold over her. Way ahead of you. While you were saving the hostages, I doubled back and managed to steal Relassi's replica off the High Priest personally. Serves him right for not listening to my favorite armiger in the first place. So I could give it to you. Will you honor the patron saint of House Telvanni by restoring his shrine's most beloved spoil of war? Or will you don the mask of the pariah and deliver them the replica? The choice is now yours. For everyone involved to keep their desired reputations, there is no one else I can trust with this decision. It has to be you. I mean, I know what I'd do, but it's in your hands now. As far as Relassi knows, you only have the original talisman. If you give the original to Elier Sudro and the replica to Relassi, she'll have to pretend it's the real thing. Or get herself in a whole world of trouble by admitting how she lost it. Then you'll have honored the tribunal and saved the Shrine of St. Voorhis from a fate of worshipping a worthless trinket with no real mystical properties for time immemorial. Or, perhaps they'd be doing that either way. Who can say? What they don't know won't hurt them. The Eye of Bondar has been lost for generations. And yet the Bondari kept its legend alive through stories. Is the faith in St. Voorhis so fragile that the loss of one relic would send it crumbling? See you around, stranger. And send my fondest farewells to Relassi, will you?
The Walker has returned. 1,000 blessings to you, savior of the Bondari. This one mourns those lost when Shadea's greed overtook her. But we would have lost so much more if it were not for you, Walker. This one knows not how to express his thanks. The buoyant armiger, she failed to catch our tricky friend, yes? Ha! So, the fate of the Eye of Bandar falls to you. Whichever way you choose, Walker. This one asks only that you do not use what you learned today about the Eye to challenge the faith of those who serve at this shrine. Walker, this one is at a loss for words. Our caravan will pay forward your generosity 1,000 times, but what will become of the shrine of St. Voorhis? Very good, Walker, very good.
Good, you're back! Just as we planned! The Lark got away, but the remaining Khajiit are safe, right? Then it's a victory in my book. Did you recover anything else for me? I recognize my handiwork. I'll be a hero returning this to the shrine. It's a false victory, but no one needs to know that besides us. Take your payment. If we meet again, I hope it will be after I've taken the upper hand on the Lark of Rosgard. What happened today was a setback, but the knowledge is my burden to bear. No one needs to learn from it except me. I'll make it right by capturing the Lark of Rosgard next time. I swear it.
There's the main tower. And you can see the isolation tower to the north there. They're not like the towers back home. But they're beautiful in their own way. Good. Nobody's noticed us so far. The key is in that chest. It's a spare for when the researchers misplace theirs. Got it? Let's speak for a moment. All right! We have the key. This is going better than I thought it would. And it's strange. Everything looks so different in here without the wards. It all feels so empty. Nathan's protective wards. You know, Sathiel's magic barriers that kept Nathan's half of the tower in isolation. I couldn't cross them at all. They certainly made tidying up a bit of a trial. I mentioned the wards before, didn't I? Sorry. I guess I've been here so long it's become normal to me. Sathiel said the outside world would kill Nathan, and she was working on a cure. But as far as I know, she and her husband were trying to cure the Nahatan flu. He died years ago, when Nathan was just a baby, from the disease they were trying to cure. Sathiel must be sheltering Nathan for fear of losing him, too. She's doing it out of love. That I can understand. But that doesn't make it right. We'll take the portal pad to the cellar. Then the key will get us into the labs. From there, it's just making our way through the caverns to the isolation tower. As long as we don't cross Sathiel, the others will be too busy to stop us. I don't think I've ever seen it this empty down here. Where is everyone? Wait, what are these subjects doing out of containment? Why are they like this? What has Sithiel done to them? There. Are those research notes? Look around. Maybe there's something... What's that? It looks like a letter. What did you find? Anything that explains what's happened? Let me see. No! I'd never write such a thing. Did Sithiel write this? Does she really think this sounds like me? What did the research notes say? Spores? The researchers spoke of those. Little seeds on the air, invisible to the eye like flu or fever. I think that's how molds and mushrooms make more of themselves. Delman spore sample. Delman? Delman? What is that? It sounds like a name. It sounds familiar. I just can't place where I've heard it before. She mentions these toxic spores interfering with wards. Does that mean Nathan's wards? If these spores reach the isolation tower, he could be in danger. Oh, the observation outpost. What happened? Where is everyone? Tunche? Thank the 8 you're all right.
Daisha, stranger, you shouldn't be here. Too dangerous. Go no further. Spores nearly killed me. Barely exposed. Natural immunity. I will live. Heard shouting, then screaming. Everyone came running. Big mistake. Subject spores. Too strong. Wanted to escape. Mistress Dreloth. She coaxed him back to isolation. Delman, too strong. Stronger than I've ever seen. Delman, Mistress Dreloth's greatest experiment. The cure, the affliction. Delman did this. Trouble breathing. Barely survived. The other researchers, not so lucky. Too late for them. Go no further. You could be killed.
I'm glad Tunche is all right. But he's just given us more questions than answers. I know he's one of her most trusted assistants, but if this Delman is one of Sithiel's experiments, how does Tunche not blame her for what happened here? I know, but Fetch it all. I just wish I could remember where I've heard it before. Delman. Delman. No, that's just the trouble. If Nathan had said or written it, I'd probably remember it exactly. Delman. Delman. It's on the tip of my tongue. Where did Tunche say Sathiel took the subject again? That must mean the isolation tower, where Nathan is. Let's keep going. I don't know what we're going to do, but Sathiel needs to be stopped. The researchers too? God, what has she done? Wait. Do you feel that? It's like we're being watched.
I've tolerated this incursion long enough. Whoever you are, you've fallen for Dacia's fanciful tale. And now you're enabling her dangerous obsession with my son. Nathan made his feelings for Dacia perfectly clear in the letter he wrote. Or was that vital piece of information kept from you? So what if I did? They'd both do well to believe it. They can never be together, do you hear me? Never! Leave this place! Forget all that you've seen, or you'll end up worse than Tunche. Delman? Where did you hear this name, Delman? Ah, I see. So your half-informed mind proves far more dangerous than an uninformed one. You cannot help. Leave this place, or I will do everything in my remaining power to stop you.
Delman was her husband. That's right. I must have heard it from her once, long ago when she first brought me on. He died from the Nahatan flu. The thing she's trying to cure. I've never seen her like this before. I don't know. Has she gone mad? Was she always this way? If so, she's been hiding it, and I can't blame her. If she were carted off to Gorn, she'd be parted from Nathan. The thought of it probably only made things worse for her. If you mean to heed Sathiel's words and leave, then I'll have to go on alone. Nathan is my whole world. I'm not leaving without him.
You cannot fight the danger that lies ahead. This is your last chance. Dacia, turn back, or you may never leave this tower again.
Dacia, stay back! I tried to escape, but she was right. My mother was right about everything.
Nathan, what does he mean his mother was right? She can't be. She just can't.
Stay back from the ward. Mother says it's already in a weakened state due to the strength of my affliction. I don't recognize you, stranger. What are you doing with Dacia? Rescue? Then she really does love me? There was this note, you see. I was certain it was fake, but then I saw you and, well, I started to wonder. But I cannot leave. If you came through the caverns, you must have seen what I'm capable of. My father, yes. The affliction my mother gave me. She named it after him. I didn't know until I tried escaping. The wards were never for my protection. They kept others safe from me. If I had left with Dacia when we planned, she'd be dead. A living cure. A symbiote that protects its host with toxic spores. I would not be alive without it, and it would not thrive without me. All these years, she really has been trying to cure me so I might live a normal life. Why did I ever doubt her?
So now you know the truth. I'd kept this secret from Nathan his whole life. That he might not grow up knowing he was a monster of my own making. That he might keep his will to live while I sought a cure. After all, I gave him the Nahaten flu and cured him of that too. Delmin and I were trying to save the world. A promising fungal spore sample was on its way from Black Marsh when Delmin caught the very thing we were trying to cure. And I lost him. I had to know if the spores would have saved him. And now I know. Nathan came from me. I am enough of him that the fungal symbiote does not register me as a separate entity, and therefore not a threat to its host. That is when I named it. Delman Mycota. The cure, like love, that would be with us always. The truth is a poor cure for love. I did not want Dacia to share my fate of being shackled to Tel Dreloff by her own heartstrings. So I tried to drive her away. But since hers is a love that clearly cannot be cured, I have devised a choice for her. If Dacia is willing, I can safely inoculate her with the same spores I used on Nathan. She will share his affliction and his confinement. But they will be together, and she will want for nothing, except perhaps her freedom. Then she can make herself useful and help me find a cure. I'll hire her on again. I need someone dependable to procure rare ingredients to keep testing possible cures for Delman Mycota. Perhaps someday she can be one of my researchers.
Nathan and I could finally be together. But the way to do so means becoming his mother's experiment. But I'd be safe, provided for. I'd get to dance and sing every day with the one I love. Some would kill for such a gentle life. Leaving for good is no option for me. My heart is Nathan's and his is mine. If I don't give up my freedom, I can help Sathiel find a cure. I'd get to see the world like I always wanted, but I'd be in her service. And I'd be alone. Life offers no guarantee of love either, but I found that, didn't I? I don't see it as giving up my freedom. I see it as a choice of how I get to show my love. But my heart is split. If you were in my place, which would you choose? I made it this far. I can work and wander a bit longer to have Nathan by my side for good someday. Sathiel and I are going to find that cure. Thank you for helping me see the best path forward, stranger. Here's your reward.
Dacia, I love you. I'm glad you're going to see the world.
Nathan, until you can see it with me, my road will always lead back to Tel Dreloff.